Hi everyone, today my dear friend Shraddha and I will be talking about the different aspects of suicide and the hurdles faced by those who choose to seek help. Now when it comes to the cultural representation of suicide, it worries me. It worries me that it's so easy to call someone a coward. It worries me that sharing this experience with some of your closest friends and family can be an extremely nerve-wracking experience. It worries me how sometimes people are happy to believe that someone was murdered rather than accept the fact that they were unhappy and that we as a world failed them. See, I know it's easy to just sit back and question why someone did what they did and pass judgment. But in reality, we need to stop parading around with sympathy, rather put ourselves in their shoes and learn how to empathize. And despite the increasing awareness, it's still day by day it becomes harder for us to open up. And see, the taboo surrounding mental health has certainly diminished to an extent, but it hasn't disappeared. Like, no way. Now, our parents, siblings, friends, family, relatives, a lot of them are supportive, but society has changed everyone's mindset or shaped their mindset in such a way that instead of becoming about, like this is supposed to be about the journey of one person's mental health, but it literally becomes a game of Chinese whispers. Now, if that concerns you, think about this. Our government clearly doesn't care because our budget went from 50 crore to 40 crore from the years 2018 to 2019. And if you're worried about those 10 crores, I'm sorry to inform you, but only 5 crores was used to begin with. And then subsequently, the healthcare budget was increased by 7%. But despite that increase, only 0.05% of the total budget is allotted to mental health. Now, let's look at two examples. First, let's start with the life of students in India. I do believe it's pretty stressful, especially because children as young as 2 years old are bombarded with this pressure to just score these marks, be perfect, get the first rank in class, whatever it is. And of course, it's not wrong to promote that sort of competition and just education in general, but keep in mind, in this country, knowledge is power, but not all knowledge is given equal importance and equal respect. Literally, as each hour passes, one student in India commits suicide. And these are literally just kids who do this most of the time because they failed in an exam, they didn't get a rank, they didn't do as well as they thought they would, whatever it is. But when we just look back, it's just sad because it shows us how much our system has failed us. I mean, around 50% of our population is less than the age of 25. And this is how we're treating our future, because logic. Now, if we were to look at a different example, let's look at the plight of farmers in India. Now, farmers usually take this step because they're unable to pay loans, their crop has failed, and usually at the head of it are people like landowners or loan sharks. Now, the landowners and loan sharks are in such a privileged position and have such lucrative deals with the farmers that it actually does become a do or die situation for them, because it's not just the means for a livelihood they're taking away. It's not just everything they've ever earned. It's literally everything from like their kids to just their money in general that they take away. And it's just sad that the people who feed us, who feed this nation, can't lie back on their government for support. So, of course, both these examples are different. One focuses more about the mental health, while this is more about how we can just prevent suicides by stricter rules and regulations and just donating in general. Please do think about that the next time, you eat. But in the meantime, my friend Shraddha is going to take us through the hurdles one faces when they do decide to take help.
Ending one's life or suicide. It's the last step. And as my friend said, we are more interested in the questions that follows the step. Like, why? Or how did that happen? Oh my God, he was not happy? Can it be a murder? Because that's, masala and everything. But we don't think about the questions that should have been asked before. And as I said, ending one's life is the last step. But what could have been the first step? Well, self-acceptance. Why is it so difficult for us to accept that we are not feeling good? Because the scary part here is everything is fine physically. We are not feeling good mentally. And why does it scare us? Because over the period of time, we have given importance to only one aspect of health. That's the physical health. So you have a fever, or you got an infection, you got injury. Oh my God, you should consult a doctor. What about the mental health? No one talks about it. Of course, as the time has passed, people do realize the concept of mental health, but still there are a lot of people out there who don't know that this exists. And when we don't know that such a concept exists, we get scared. We get scared to feel that we are not fine mentally. Well, that's just the first barrier as a society we have created. What about the second one? Well, that would be opening up to the closed ones. Why is it so difficult for a person to pour his heart out in front of people he loves a lot? His friends, family, relatives. Well, he's scared of being judged. And he's not at fault because we have done that. Why is he scared? Because he's scared of getting answers like sab theek ho jayega, or you're overthinking, or you need to chill, dude. Of course, a person who's facing a lot, when he hears such answers, how frustrating that would be. So next time, instead of saying that I'm not fine and I need your help, he'll just go around and say that, yeah, I'm fine, and put up that fake smile so that he makes us believe that he's happy. Well, happy. We have done it. We have forced that person to make everyone around him believe that he is happy. This is not the end of barriers. We have made a bigger one. That's seeking medical attention. We live in 21st century, and yet consulting a psychiatrist or going to seek help from a therapist, it's so difficult. It's so bad that in this era of nuclear war and bioterrorism, we are more scared of a person using antipsychotics. And when a person does try to seek medical attention, as my friend said, what should have been a personal journey becomes a game of Chinese whispers, where one person starts by saying that you're mentally unstable, the others take a step forward and go on to decide your future, to isolate you from everyone else, and even take it to family genetics and whatnot. This has happened, and that is why there is fear instilled among people to seek medical attention. They are scared. They are scared of the phrase of kuch to log kahenge. And we have done such a great job in increasing the pressure that they often forget the second line of the song. Kuch to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai kehna. But thanks to us, they are in so much big pressure that they just end at the first line. Well, if you think that there is another hurdle, the fourth one coming up, then no, you're wrong. Because by the time the person comes to these three hurdles, there's so much of pressure on him that he already takes the final step. So we don't get a chance only to create the fourth hurdle. We've done such a great job, and that is the end of story. But how can this change? How can we remove these taboos from the society forever? Well, it cannot happen over time. It can happen when everyone gives a little bit contribution slowly, so that we can remove all these taboos from the society and help people around us. Like I said, mental health, it's the most important thing. It's more important than your test, than any competitive exam, than any interview, the job, the family dinner. Nothing matters. What matters is your mental health, and you are responsible for it. Handing over to Sahiti now.
See, right now, more than ever, we genuinely just need to create a safer environment for those around us. And I'm sure during this pandemic over these past 6 months, at some point or the other, for lack of a better word, we've all experienced some sort of sadness. You feel like you're in a funk, you feel like you're not productive, you just don't feel like yourself. And that's completely okay. This will be elaborated on in subsequent videos by my friends Mehak and Harshashri. But okay, another thing, just keep in mind with what we've said, no amount of wealth, fame, or success is ever going to help anyone. At the end of the day, the one thing which could make a difference, even in the slightest, is support. And of course, I'm not saying, just if you're just kind, everything's going to change, whatever. But see, it's definitely going to help increase the chances of someone actually opening up to you. And I know it's cheesy to say this, but being nice doesn't cost anything. if you try and accommodate someone who you know is going through a hard time, it's honestly not that hard. And after all this, if you can just help even one person cross all these hurdles, even if it's just one of these hurdles, get something off their chest and seek help in some way or the other, it's going to be worth it. Thank you all for listening. Please stay tuned. We have more stuff planned for the next couple of days. And as always, stay safe. Bye.
Thank you.